a lot of shit going on, all right? First, we saw him in a Target arguing with the brother of the sister that was disrespected by him, all right? Now, we have allegations that my boy Deshae Frost is on the DL, okay? Now, I don't think that it's ever right to out anybody who is not prepared to come out, okay? But it is 2025, that's all I'm saying. So if you were to come out, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? And even if it ain't all good to certain people gonna shut the fuck up, okay? Because you already know you go against the LGBTQ, LMNOP, QRSTUV community, it's gonna be an issue for you, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, and I'm not about that at all. Whatever you support, support it. If you don't support it, don't support it, right? Be your authentic self. I'm not saying just because I'm part of the LGBTQ, LMNOP, QRSTUV that I feel like you should support it. If you don't support it and you feel like it's not what you believe in and you feel like it's an issue, then hey, you have every right to speak your opinion on that, right? But right now, we getting into the Deshae Frost, the allegations on him being DL. I want to see what's going on, all right? I've heard a lot of people talking about this and I want to see why are they saying this, all right? So make sure you tell a friend that today ain't your mama, today Uncle Joey still a hoe. Let's get right into the video, man. Let's get it.
And I got him a long coat jacket. What the f is going on? Like, and I was the one getting bent over.
Everyone's favorite YouTuber, Diddy Frost, decided to come out and talk about some allegations that were put on his name by this TikToker. She spoke out and said that one of her co-workers actually knows Deshae Frost and was getting presents, gifts flown out by him, all this stuff. And the person that she was talking about was a guy, claiming basically that Deshae Frost was DL, exposing him to the internet because she was reminiscing about it or something like that. But it caused Shay to go into a manic rage on stream multiple times, and it's escalating so far as to have Deshae saying he is going to sue her and get all of her social medias taken down. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself, so we're going to start from the very beginning for anyone who's unaware about this entire situation.
Okay, I said I would kiss Bill Gates for 42 billion. Man, why the would be realistic? Why the Bill Gates give you 42 billion? Why? If you get something like something, I'll do that.
Deshae Frost, someone who's been in the center of controversy a lot recently due to the
To be honest, y'all, a lot of these Twitch streamers have been just real sus. You know what I'm saying? They've been real sus. And like I said, I'm part of the community. But if you're not part of that community, I don't know why you would play around like you're part of that community. I just don't get that. But anyway.
He's making. He is a YouTuber and now turned streamer who got his upbringing in 2020, normally doing uploading a bunch, and the content was more on the very side, with him getting a bunch of girls on stream to flirt with them, do lie detectors, stuff like that. And this would not just extend to random girls he doesn't know, or even OF models, but even doing certain things to his family, talking about their BBLs, or just basically any women he's around. Family member, random person, honestly didn't matter to him. If they were a woman, he was definitely going to talk about them in a certain way. So it really came to a shock to a lot of people when someone on TikTok called out Deshae Frost for being DL. Well, I can't really say Deshae, because technically in her video, she never explicitly said his name. Instead, she said this.
Back in 2020, I used to work at FedEx, and while working there, I became cool with this gay boy who was very open about his sexuality, okay? Then he started all of a sudden coming into work with a Montclair jacket and a Gucci book bag holding his snacks. So I just took it upon myself to just ask him, like, do you know where we are? Because why are you wearing that night to FedEx? Like, it don't make sense. He was like, oh girl, I didn't spend my money on this. I said, oh, period. He was like, you want to know who did? I said, who? And he told me the name of the person, but being that I don't want to get sued, we're just gonna call the person Snowflake. You know, the YouTuber. Yeah, so when that was told to me, I was like, wait, but I just saw Snowflake on YouTube with his girlfriend. He was like, oh girl, that's a cloak. He really like boys for real.
I'll be honest, I first saw this video when it was just first blowing up, and not that many people actually knew who she was talking about. A lot of people were putting question marks, calling out certain YouTubers, because all she said was Snowflake and YouTuber. That is a pretty broad place to look for. She could...
Because to be honest, there's a lot of Snowflake YouTubers, right? Even though he is the frosty YouTuber, still though, you know, there's a correlation, but she could also be meaning Snowflake as in soft, you know what I'm saying?
Could have been talking about white YouTubers. She could have been talking about a YouTuber who actually had to do with snow, like Deshae Frost. She could have been talking about anybody. But where she messed up at is people in the comment section started saying certain names. In those comments, obviously some people are going to call out Deshae Frost specifically, saying his name, and her responses to some of them would be pretty subliminal. Nothing outright saying that it was Deshae Frost. But if you tried hard enough to look, she would tell people, hey, look at the hashtags. Her hashtags would be Snowflake, Streamer, YouTuber, DL. And if you click any of these, it would put you right at Deshae Frost. Honestly, you could make the case that, hey, she still didn't explicitly say his name until after Deshae Frost decided to go on stream and say something, which would start the downfall of this whole situation to cause it to spiral.
But y'all got me up with this gate.
Oh shit.
First, I'm gonna get her TikTok gone. And a cease and desist. I'm getting sued for lying on me. I'm trying to say that I get bent over on this. I was 19, 18 years old in 2020. What the fuck I look like flying out a nigga and getting him a Montclair jacket? And on my name, bro. I try to be quiet, but I'm getting on and niggas, bro. I don't care, bro. I gotta sue that angry family. I don't care. Fucking worthless. I'm sorry, bro. I can't deal with that. So it's like, bro, you playing on my name, trying to get views, and that was the most views you've ever gotten on TikTok. You tripping about this? If that's so true, show the nigga something with me, messages or something, bro. Show that. Show all that. Show the nigga, show all that. Because at that point, you was talking about a kid at that point. And respect to all my people that is gay, but for me personally, what the f I look like? Nigga, I'm a kid at that time, being gay.
Now I'm gonna be honest, being a content creator comes with people talking bad about you, making up fake stories about you, fake allegations, whatever it is. And most of the time it's something serious, or even if it's something small, they would deal with it in a professional way. But Deshae Frost, I feel like, has dealt with it in the worst way possible. Purely because, just because she mentioned the name Snowflake, does not mean you should even speak out about it. Most people who have allegations directly to
It's a little guilty conscience, huh? Because it ain't like the old girl said Deshae Frost, right?
or them with their name don't even say anything. Yet, when it's something like this, he's outright talking about it, giving it more press and giving it more.
But he could also just be like, I mean, for him to take it so serious, it kind of looks guilty. I ain't gonna lie. It kind of looks like a guilty conscience type of thing. Because knowing Deshae, we already know he's goofy as fuck, right? Oh, now you want to be serious? When it comes to these type of allegations, now you want to be serious. Right? When the joke's on you, you can't take the joke, right? When you in a hot seat, you want to get out. You want to get out of the hot seat, right? But you don't mind people putting people in it. So to me, it kind of seems a little guilty conscious. I'm not saying that it is true, but knowing Deshae, this is something he would be like, man, come on now. Are y'all for real? Y'all really gonna believe this shit? Come on. Next, anyway. Or, they didn't even say my name. They could be talking about anybody, but if they talking about me, come on now. Y'all fucking know what's up. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it seems like the level of defensiveness that he's coming at this shit with just makes me feel like, okay, it's something here. If it's not this, maybe he is a little, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he does straddle the fence or something like that. I really don't know. I don't know, right? But he's coming off defensive, you know?
Attention, which he doesn't need to do. She never outright said his name, even though in the comments you would see a lot of Deshae Frost before he even responded, and her liking the comments or even saying something slick under them. So you would come to the conclusion that's who she's actually talking about. Even with that, I don't think it's the right idea to go and confirm that by going on your stream and talking about it, because now you're going to have a back and forth between you and her, which is going to draw even more attention to something that I feel like shouldn't be that serious. And that's just all that happened. She ended up making another TikTok about the situation because he was speaking about her on his stream.
Y'all peep how I never said this nigga name, right? Because the hints that I gave was Snowflake and YouTuber. When I think of Snowflake, I think snow bunny, Caucasian. I could have been talking about a Caucasian person. There's hella Caucasian YouTubers. I was talking about Deshae, but I never said his name. But now I feel like I have to because you made a freaking stream and mentioned me. Didn't say my name, but you talking about she's making TikTok.
She said, I was talking about Deshae, but, hold on, let's go back.
Caucasian person. There's hella Caucasian YouTubers. I was talking about Deshae, but I never said his name.
Bruh.
But now I feel like I have to because you made a freaking stream and mentioned me. Didn't say my name, but you talking about she's making TikToks in her green colored contacts. You talking about my family. I'm worthless. You about to get my TikTok account taken. I'm getting a cease and desist. I'm getting sued. All this. I'm just trying to figure out why you're so hostile. I am not the first and I won't be the last person to talk about you in this context.
Ooh.
Now that video was a lot longer, it's around 4-ish minutes, but that's basically the gist of the video. Some other important things she did end up mentioning though was the fact that apparently some of Deshae's people contacted the guy that she used to work at FedEx with, and his friend ended up calling her and telling her that they wanted the videos to be taken down, which she said she was not going to do at all. I'm gonna be honest, this situation is handled on both sides pretty wrong. I would say more on Deshae's side than her, really, because Deshae is a content creator. Content creators have things said about them, made up things all the time. People will hate on you for literally no reason, even if you're a perfect content creator. So for Deshae to go over and blow this up even more, it's kind of unnecessary. I can understand him offhandedly just saying it, like, yeah, I saw that video, that's kind of weird, and then kept it pushing. The fact that I can show you a whole 4-minute clip of him still ranting about the situation and talking about her, it just makes it a lot worse. And as a content creator, he should know that, hey, blowing up the situation or even talking about the situation, period, is just going to make it 20 times worse. It's very unnecessary. And the part where I would say is on her, she was just making a normal video and didn't really like say the specific person's name. She just ended up mentioning him in the comments or liking comments that said his name, so people could connect the dots that, hey, maybe she's talking about him. But even then, like she said in that video, she's not going to be the last person to come up with fake things if this is truly fake. I'm not saying it is or not. I'm not trying to get sued. It's raw allegations, and it really shouldn't be that serious for me to say, hey, it's allegations when someone's just calling you gay, but they are. And in her right, she just made a video talking about it, and I do think it's kind of odd to even make a video talking about that type of thing, especially when you're just mentioning like a story that someone had told you and you don't know if it's true or not. But in that same video, she literally mentioned that, hey, this is just what the guy had told me. She didn't confirm if it was true or not. She didn't even say concrete, yeah, this definitely happened. She was just talking about a story of that something a guy had told her, and it just gets worse and worse the more you keep responding and feeding it for no apparent reason, especially when you talk about suing her, because then she's gonna want to even talk about it some more.
I just seen a TikTok, some talking about I'm fucking gay, bro. That is so weird, nigga. I get like all that different type of shit, like nigga the freaky shit, all the other shit, but this talking about I'm fucking gay, like what the like this? Yeah. Nah, no, for real. It's like, bro, because it's like, nigga, talking about this dumb talking about, oh, she talking about, oh, nigga, she said Snowflake, talking like, oh, in 2020, nigga, she worked at some place. Nigga, I was 19 when 2020. I flew a nigga out, and I got him a long-term jacket. What the going on, like, and I was the one getting bent over. What the, nigga, I was 18 years old trying to finish high school, huh? Why would a nigga finish a Montclair jacket in LA? Nigga, it's 100 degrees every day in LA.
To be honest, if anybody else was accused of something like this, I probably would assume they would just let it slide under the rug and not pay attention to it. Because being accused of your sexuality not being as you present it does not require drastic actions like Deshae is taking, as he talked about suing her and taking her TikTok or other social media accounts down. And obviously, when you have something like this happening to you,
going crazy.
Sued in general,
he
you
going
don't
crazy.
want to make a response to talk about why this came to the case. In my opinion, though, her response to the situation is pretty funny, really, because she doesn't sit there and be like, all right, I will fight you in court, or all right, I'm gonna get the guy, we're gonna show proof. Instead, she suggests to have a lie detector test happen.
Since it's impossible for you to stop talking about me and the situation on Twitch, a platform where you and I both know I could only respond to you if I follow you, and I'm just not doing that, let's settle this once and for all with the lie detector test. Look us both up. I know for a fact that the information that I put out there was 100% told to me. I'm not lying. I'm going to.
And that may very well be true, but just because somebody tells you, like I could tell my homegirl, oh yeah, I was fucking Christina Milian last night, right? And that rumor go around, and Christina Milian like, no, that didn't happen, right? But if I said it, right, and she put it out there, she's still telling the truth. I told her that, whether it was accurate information or not. So what she's basically saying, whether or not it's true, I was told this information, okay? Now, was it messy of her to come on and say that? Yeah, right? Is she potentially trying to get more clout out of this situation by dragging it? Probably, yeah. But at the end of the day, like I said, Deshae is really, really on the defense with this. And I find it very funny because it's just like, Deshae is really not the type of nigga to trip off shit like this. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's just sexuality, he just seems like, I don't know. I feel like if you're confident in your sexuality, you really don't need to be so defensive, so hostile, so upset. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take your TikTok down. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm suing you and all of this other shit. I'm just like, dude, is it true? I mean, even if that's not true, do you like dudes too though? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the issue? Why are we so defensive over there? Let me know what y'all think in the comments.
To pass with flying colors. And you're standing firm on this whole, oh, she's lying, that never happened. I was 18 or 19 trying to finish up high school. I never bought nobody a Montclair jacket. You should pass with flying colors too, no? And in that scenario, if we both pass with flying colors, that means that the third party, the FedEx employee, is the liar in all of this. We all know that lie detector tests is something that you do for fun on your streams. So there should be no problem for you to set this up.
The problem is lie detector tests, they're not permissible in court for a reason, right? Things can make your heart fluctuate, your heart rate fluctuate and shit like that. Those tests can sometimes be manipulated. So, you know what I'm saying?
So yeah, if you don't decide to follow through with it, that just leads me to believe you know you're not finna pass. But let me know. I'm ready.
I don't know if she thinks it's like 2016, 2017.
Right.
We're just hitting the lie detector test. Like it's a whole YouTube video. But I don't think this.
To me, shorty sound like she's trying to collab on the low. You know what I'm saying? And why the fuck would he do that when he's already upset at you? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not gonna work.
Shay wants to bring it there because it's gonna just give her more clout and more attention, and it's the opposite of what he truly wants. Because literally in his response, he said that she was a clout chaser. So bringing you onto his platform for more people to want to follow you and see what you have to say would not help him in any way, shape, or form. Especially if you're spreading what he feels or lies about him. Then why would he ever want to do that? But then I'm gonna come to my ultimate point. I feel like it is odd of her, if he is DL, to bring that to the internet just to try and expose him for no apparent reason. I mean, outing somebody that doesn't want their sexuality out there is pretty weird and odd. But then again, at the end of the day, this is Diddy Frost. We're talking about the same guy who does a lot of terrible things.
Diddy Frost.
So a lot of people are going to be on her side to begin with, purely because they already don't like him. And I do feel like Deshae's response was pretty terrible. I mean, if somebody calls him out for being DL and he's not, I think he should just move on with his day. As he mentioned it in stream, if he just did a one-off comment like, yeah, this girl mentioned saying I was gay and that's not true, just kept it pushing. But he went from segment to different place to car to inside his house, still talking about the situation. So it's just gonna bring it even more attention. It makes it seem like you're really pressed about something you shouldn't be, especially if you in your heart know it's not even true. It just shouldn't bother you that much, at least in my opinion. Because who would really care? If someone was to comment on this video 1,000 times,
Yeah, it's a waste of energy at the end of the day. What do y'all think? Comment down below, let me know. Do you really think that Deshae is on the DL? Like I said, I never think that it's right for anybody to be outed when they're not ready to be outed, right? And at the end of the day, like I said, his response, his reaction makes him look guilty even if he's not guilty. That's the only thing, right? I'm not gonna say that it's true, I'm not gonna say that it's not true, but a lot of the streaming shit, if you watch a lot of streamers, and I even have a reaction video to these streamers, right? These Twitch streamers specifically, they be on some sus ass shit. Once again, these straight guys who are supposed to be men, right? They like women, some of them have girlfriends and shit, but they're over here, you know, playing with each other's booties and all of this. What is this? What is this? You know, humiliation ritual? Do y'all have to do that type of shit to elevate? Like, what's really going on here? Like, why are we acting this way? You feel me? So, I'm pretty sure there are some DL guys in the YouTube space, the Twitch space, but it's really none of our business at the end of the day. As long as you're happy, and if you ever want to come out, cool. If you don't want to come out, that's fine too. You know what I'm saying? I do feel like there's a lot of benefits whenever you do come out because you can actually live in your truth, be who you want to be, but I get it. You're under a microscope already, so why would you even want to come out and share something so personal and intimate with people who don't even know you? That could bring a lot of hate. It could also bring a lot of love and support too, but there's two sides of that coin, and I understand why some people would not want to take that risk. I get it. But let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below, man. I will see you guys in the next one. Make sure you tell a friend to tell their aunt, your mama, tell their Uncle Joey, still a hard. We'll see you guys in the next motherfucking video, and I love y'all, man. Peace. We out, baby.